Good morning. Today is September 6th, 2019. My name is Olawale Okabola with Spartacus Trading Corporation, where serious advanced traders come to train and learn. Here to bring you the pre-market report for the S&P E-mini futures contract. Okay, please refer to my recap report from yesterday. I talked about the fact that the daytime inventory was out of balance. Let me quickly walk you through why. We have a situation where we had clearly higher value from the gap. Value is in yellow, the yellow box. This is the settle. Market closed outside of value. We had a point of control that was 10 wide, 11 wide. I apologize. We had a couple of anomalies here, showing that the market just liquidated at the end of the day. And usually, how I play these inventory imbalances, I get in overnight, and then I look to take my trade off at the point of control. I was not in this trade, although as you can see from the overnight, the trade worked out handsomely. I didn't think there was much juice for me, so I had no interest. But for those who got in overnight, took advantage of that overnight adjustment, congratulations. So, what do we got now? Coming into today, we have a situation where the overnight inventory is long, right? So here's the settle. Most of the overnight inventory is long. So you can expect some kind of adjustment to the long overnight inventory. If you don't get an adjustment, usually I consider adjustment trading back below the half back. This green bar is the half back for the overnight. If you don't get an adjustment, we probably got an auction to the upside. If that's the case, value should build higher than yesterday's value. And then you want some elongation. One time framing is definitely what you want to see. If there's anything meaningful to the upside, you should get value to begin to overlap yesterday's high. If value gets above yesterday's high, you probably more than likely got a strong auction to the upside. On the downside, if we get any liquidation or adjustment from the overnight longs, if we get any adjustment, anything serious, we'll begin to see value overlap yesterday's yesterday's value area. We'll begin to see value overlap that. Remember now, uh, don't get caught up in the adjustment because anything more serious than that, well, let me back up. Don't get caught up in the adjustment because if there's not anything more serious than just an adjustment to the overnight longs, value will begin to be unchanged. And then you'll get some rotation back and forth. So you don't want to get chopped alive. I would just wait to see, let the market show his hand as far as what it wants to do. Fed chair talks today at 12:30 from Switzerland about some monetary policy. I don't know if that's going to bring any volatility into the market. We shall see. So if you're in a position, you want to probably look to get flat somewhere around 12:15 ahead of him talking and just monitor the market and see what goes on from there. Anything serious to the downside, of course, you'll begin to see over at a minimum overlapping to lower value. Anything more serious, we get into these single prints and then we look to start to fill the gap from yesterday. Got a long way to go. I don't know if this gap will get filled. The only thing I can anticipate filling this gap is from the Fed chair saying something that the market doesn't like, send the market through this gap. There's nothing there, just the overnight inventory, and we shall see. Take it a step at a time. Also, I talked about in my recap report, I'm playing C through H. I'm using that as a intraday balance area. I'm going to apply the balance rules to that. Balance rules is, give me 1 second. Balance rules is either you break out of balance and accelerate, but if that's the case, value will begin to develop above this intraday balance area. Number two, with the balance rules, break out and fail. If you fail, the destination is the opposite extreme. Doesn't have to get there, but that's something you want to judge the confidence on the downside. Or option number three in the balance rules, you remain in balance. Okay, so that's what I'm using as my balance area, intraday balance area to play the balance rules with to try to keep me grounded in what's going on. Again, if you get some liquidation or adjustment to the overnight inventory, remember, it's going to take you back to unchanged. Okay, so you want to be careful. You don't want to get chopped alive, and then who knows if the market wants to really do anything going into the Fed chairs discussion out there in Switzerland. We shall see. We shall see. That's all I got. So good luck today. You make some money. Don't give back those profits. Have a great weekend, everybody.